Regan Slaymaker for Radiant.Green. I have the pleasure to be joined by Ross Kent, the Head of Sales for UK and Ireland and Scandinavia for QCells. Ross, how are you today?
I'm very well, thanks Regan.
Good, I'm very glad to hear it. Obviously, we're at Solar and Storage Live. I mean, scale of the event this year is a bit crazy. How has the event been so far for QCells?
Well, I think you're right. I think it's an event I've attended well over 10 years, seen the kind of peaks of the feed-in tariff times and then the lulls of probably maybe like 2014, 2015, right through to 2018, 2019, and now it's really on an upward trajectory. In terms of things for QCells has been around in the market for a long time. We've really innovated a lot of the kind of PERC technology, and now our focus is more towards kind of N-type and the progression of the industry into that new cell type that's going to be the most dominant in the market. So for us it's all about kind of presence here and showing that we're still a big global player in the market for PV.
Perfect. And how do your kind of solar PV technologies kind of impact the solar industry? And how do they kind of, in your opinion, how do they kind of enhance the solar industry and push it on into these new heights that it's growing into as well?
Yeah, so QCells have got a huge amount of R&D investment going into things like perovskite cells and the kind of new next generation of what could become the prominent force in terms of efficiency and these kind of topics. But in the meantime, QCells really developed and innovated a lot of the main technology we use today. So our name is QCells, and going back to our foundation, a lot of our expertise are in actual cell development and cell manufacturing. QCells wants to keep a very close proximity to its customers. It wants to have very close relationships with its customers, and we've always had a very local presence in the market. We've always wanted to be close to the installer network, have conversations with them on a daily basis, and that's what we're all about really, boots on the ground, speaking to installers on a daily basis.
QCells, obviously you mentioned you're kind of an industry leader obviously, and kind of putting that kind of customer base at the forefront, that obviously does come with some advantages, but have there been any challenges when kind of pushing out your technology to a wider audience as well?
Yeah, 100%. So there's big challenges. This year in particular, there's a lot of noise in the market. There's a lot of people we haven't heard of necessarily, and new entrants into the market when it comes from the manufacturing side. There's a glut of availability in the market. So I think now more than ever, relationships are key. And looking at all those other factors beyond price, beyond availability, what value are you adding to your customer base? So be that using your own resources around designing and assisting on projects, being great at service, being good on a local level with availability, and just being that dependable partner really. We kind of have to look beyond price and beyond availability, because actually those two topics are broadly the same for every manufacturer right now.
Perfect. And obviously with that kind of, what of your main, have QCells set out any kind of key objectives Solar and Storage Live? Obviously, I mean, it goes without saying it's a bit of a monster event this year, but kind of what would QCells like to achieve at the end of the 3 days this year in Birmingham?
So of course we want to meet with customers, existing customers. We want to try and capture some new business there, people that align well with our brand and on our ethics. I think a big thing for us is battery storage. So we've launched Q Home Core in the last year, and that's been a major development for us as we go beyond module production into energy storage products. And so a big part of what we do is cement ourselves to be seen as a provider of battery storage, which is not so easy when you go from being a module producer of 20 years plus to then saying, no, actually we're more of a full service provider now. Please go and buy some additional hardware from us in the form of battery storage. So that's been a challenge this year, but I'm pleased to say we're capturing some attention, and certainly Q Home Core, our battery storage system, is a big part of this next 3 days.
Perfect. Very glad to hear it. And obviously, where you're diversifying into new products as well, kind of. And also, if the audience would like to see some of your battery storage technologies, where can people find you at Solar and Storage Live this year?
Yeah, so we're right by the entrance. We're B5. If you walk in and you turn immediately right, you'll see QCells there on that first row. So we've got quite a prominent position in the stand in the hall, should I say.
Perfect. Well, you know exactly where to find QCells. As soon as you enter, go right. Ross Kent, thank you very much for your time today, and best of luck for the rest of the event.